The Witch's Mountain, 1972, aka El Monte de las Brujas. Okay, made for TV, this one really doesn't have much to offer. There's no point in going to that much deep into the plot. It's a Spanish made for TV film, hardcore edited, not that much horror.
And it's supposed to be about the Witch's Mountain. And really, it starts off like a flashback, or you don't even know what it is, where she, like a little girl, and there's a dead cat, and then it just kicks into like the story of, it like starts all over at the beginning.
And the story
where she meets a photographer guy.
The premise follows a couple, a photographer guy, and with the token classic 70s mustache, then a woman who's apparently was
who's not a witch or anything.
Pretty prominent at the time actress, Spanish actress.
She's like, I'm a writer. And
they
meet at the beach, and then freaking.
So they go out
on. Go with me on a.
All right, you're just telling way too much. It doesn't even matter that much. They're going to a retreat at Witch's Mountain at this cavern or this inn, and
it takes
tavern is what I meant.
It takes 30 minutes, like the whole half of the movie, to even get there, and then it's still like a whole bunch of dark scenes, a whole bunch of filler scenes, or nothing.
It's one of those 70s with the dark imagery.
Dinner, and it just takes on forever.
And here's the other thing that you need to know, and why it really isn't worthy of watching, because it's really meager dialogue. Like I said, it was a Spanish-made one, made for TV, and it was also marketed, obviously, for English crowds, and they did it in English, but they obviously didn't have that extensive of a vocabulary.
And from this point on, all the way, all you got is the creepy innkeeper leading up all the way to the end, where it's the only time you've seen Witchcraft is where you find the voodoo doll.
It's a whole bunch of babbling nothing.
It really is.
You don't even know what they're talking about. They're just talking about absolutely nothing. Like, oh, where is... They just kind of get separated at the inn in the cavern, and then he's cantankerous all the time
with the innkeeper, and then she's talking to the...
And then there ends up being...
she talks to the old lady who's a witch.
And people are obsessed with the... or the only thing anyone says good about this is that there was good music, and they do this weird like European music where it'll be a whole bunch of nothing.
It sounds like an opera is what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was like Spanish opera, and there is like really isn't no witchcraft at all until like the final like 10 minutes where you see, oh, there's a voodoo doll.
And then he goes to a cave, and then he finds all the chicks that are witches, and the ending final shot is where like.
Do you know anybody that's ever reacted that way when they get scared? So that kind of destroys credibility right there.
And
the last shot is them showing them a torture device, and they're like, yep, it's for you, and it cuts.
It finally gets to the coven of hippie witches in white drapes and in their togas, and they escape the resort, and then not without car trouble, and a few other horror cliches, like a few black cats here and there. Overall, absolutely not worth checking out, even though it has this amazing poster. And... so the guy ends up getting his, and they just kind of like kill off the guy so that they could take the girl and like accept her into the coven to make their coven stronger.
Oh, yeah, it's like, oh, she's now a witch, and we're gonna kill you.
Accept it.
And it's always like those movies where they show the cover, and the cover's real awesome. It has nothing to do with the movie. I mean, it does, but it's
ghosts, and perhaps even a few murders. You're all invited.
the cover has nothing to do with it at all. There's not even the scene of the cover.
And that's it. Saturday Night Horror Review, JBM L Mid. We give this one a D-. Do not check it out.
I give it a 0.
Might as well give it an F.
You can give it a 1 if you just want to bore yourself.
Just because it's complete cockamamie nonsense.